Last year. It's 115,000 homes that students and teachers, and I don't love their companies. All the students and teachers and, you know, professionals that just can't find homes anymore because instead of being long-term rentals or houses that you can buy, they're being subleased.
It's a capitalist problem.
It is a problem. It's our problem.
Capitalist
because
problem.
we're losing our neighborhoods, we're losing our homes.
How can we get more and more money?
It is. How can we get more and more money?
It's also convenient. I mean,
It is convenient.
6 times a year. I can save £30 a night and have my own apartment right in the middle of Budapest.
But are you really willing
And
to
I'm really nice
exchange
to my
that like
neighbours.
that?
I feed their cats. I talk to their children. I'm really
But
nice
it's
to my
fine when
neighbours.
it's someone else's city. But is it fine when it's your city? Because you're willing to go to Budapest and do it. But do you like it when it's in your own neighborhood? How can you stand that double standard? Because you won't accept it next to you.
A lot of money in the United States of America. Airbnb is based in the United States. And they charge like something like
And that is an additional issue. They now charge more and more fees. There's a $100 cleaning fee. There's a 14% surcharge every time you decide to stay somewhere. How is that fair? Airbnb started, and you have to stay for cleaning. You're not allowed to throw parties. There's noise regulation. Airbnb started as something that someone could rent out a spare room, rent out a basement to get a little extra money, a little extra cash. Now it's not. Over 50% of bookings on Airbnb aren't owned by individual people. They're owned by groups. They're owned by corporations that have multiple
I
homes,
find the people,
5
the
and
apartments
10.
that are owned by groups are better looked after. I can rely on them. If I'm going to live with grandma, I have to get there at a certain time.
You're willing to fund the corporations though.
American corporations, they pay my wages.
And that's great for you because they don't pay taxes in the UK. That worsens your neighborhoods. That worsens the economic impact. Instead, tourists come. We love tourists. Tourists come
A
everywhere.
typical
They
neighbour
have
that no
fun.
Airbnb wants to come anywhere near me. That's the best thing to do. Why don't you do that? Be a very disruptive neighbour. And then the Airbnb will
Or the government that you voted for, that you pay for, should put in regulations. They should regulate where Airbnbs, short-let rentals are allowed to stay. They should be in residential neighborhoods. Those should be able to be
You
formal
stay in a hotel
communities.
along here, it costs a fortune. They don't
There's
allow you
hotels
to
in
cook
different
or
places.
anything.
There's hostels. There's community-led cooperatives. All things that you can stay in, and you're not willing to pay the additional
Stay in
price
a
here.
tent on the street in London.
Well, center London, you can move out a little bit. You're not willing to, take a 15-minute tube ride in exchange for keeping your community safe, your neighborhood safe.
What good is
Who
my
the
community
hell?
safe? I can't stay there.
Who on earth is moving in next to you? What happens if they're a creep, a stranger? Are you willing to let your children play in the front yard if you have no idea who your neighbor is?
They're gonna learn
If you've never
something.
met? And you want them to learn that at what, 5, 6, 7 years old? How dangerous is that for them? What happens if the person next door to you holds parties for a week straight while you're trying to work? You own a night shift, you
Let's go to a party.
I would say, give me something to keep me awake or give me something to sleep.
Say one time?
I would say, give me something to keep me awake or give me something to let me sleep.
Yeah, but that's not fair that you have to be the ones to do that. If they were here, if they were in a tourist-led zone that were regulated and, accommodations that were meant for tourists, not things that have just slowly, gradually built into a giant capitalist
That's what
market.
happens in a capitalist society. This is a great idea. Somebody had a great idea.
And it is a great idea. In fact, cities have implemented it. This wouldn't be the first city if they implemented it. Amsterdam has implemented it. Barcelona, Lisbon
No
have
way.
all implemented banning short-term rentals, Airbnb,
No
and residential.
way.
They have banned it, and they have seen that it is effective in keeping their neighborhoods safer and in ensuring that the housing crisis is lessened because there's more homes available. If a corporation has 15 homes and they suddenly can't sublease them, it's not like they're just going to hold on to them, pay the property taxes on them. No. They're going to rent them out. Long-term rentals, they're going to sell them. That gives them more houses. I said over 115,000 homes here in London last year in 2024 were subleased. That's 115 homes that could have been rented out to people, could have been purchased by
Actually, there's
people.
only 1 million homes in this city that belong to Middle Eastern millionaires.
And Chinese.
Nobody lives there.
And Chinese.
And those should be
Russian.
regulated too, but I'm not talking about those today. Today I'm talking about the short-term rentals, Airbnb, VRBO, Booking.com. They don't have any regulation. That started out small. Nobody thought they were going to be a problem. They were like, this is great. This is a way that, you know, a student or someone who maybe doesn't have a lot of income can earn a little bit of extra money, help cover the rent, help buy something nice for their family, a present, a party, whatever. But that's what it started as, and it grew rapidly, and it never got legislation.
American dream, Jasmine.
Oh yes, because America's doing so fucking fabulously right now. Like, we're falling apart. We have a president who's a whack job, and
It's quite funny though.
he is quite
Hail
funny.
Trump.
I can see you in the future having a lovely little home, maybe a holiday home.
But how would I be able to afford that nowadays? The market is so small. Big corporations can underbid us and take it away from us. It's not like we're able to purchase these homes. You have to work for years and years and years, and you have to have a very high-paying salary in order to even afford to rent something, much less buy something. You want that security. You want to be comfortable, to be able to do that, and you can. So many of the homes are just being purchased up by other people. People who can underbid you because they have a larger wealth than you do.
Thank you, Jasmine.
Thank you.
Take care. See you.